imagine living for 180 days without sunlight, confined into a small space, following orders from management, and unable to escape because it threatens your life. No, we're not talking about prison. We're talking about submariners on submarines for years. Far from civilization, today you will learn what it's like to live with a nuclear reactor right next to you, where oxygen comes from underwater, and why submarines are not prisons but real-life hotels. Life in the depths under pressure can be challenging. You need to prepare for many features that sometimes seem like real tests when you step aboard. Say goodbye to normal life. Here, you live by a strict schedule. An 18-hour shift is divided into 3 cycles, 1 for duty, 1 for leisure, and 1 for sleep. Though it may seem specific, this isn't the worst part. On many submarines, there's not enough berthing space, and it's not necessary. After all, you'll be sharing a berth with 2 other people, because when one is on duty, the second spends leisure time somewhere in the mess hall. In extreme cases, they might accommodate you in the torpedo compartment where there are additional berths. Be prepared to sleep next to a nuclear warhead. If you think you can handle this, let's continue. Remember that not far from the launch zone, there's a machine room with a real nuclear reactor. Okay, that's just a joke. However, the sight of a submarine with its lights on at night genuinely looks like a scene from a scary sea monster movie, and this metal beast will become your second home. Do you really want this? Well, if your answer is yes, prepare for tight quarters. And all your belongings will be allocated no more than about 1.5 square meters, and small spaces like these will surround you everywhere. You might wonder how submariners can breathe naturally. Submarines cannot survive without a special air regeneration system. There's a built-in machine that releases oxygen directly from seawater. Carbon dioxide also needs to be pumped out, which is handled by a special CO2 gas purifier. Additionally, several more filters function as safeguards against toxic gases, airborne oil particles, unpleasant odors, and more. In short, submariners breathe deep. And in general, submarines are not under the water at all times. Contrary to what may appear at first glance, modern submarines have created genuinely comfortable conditions for their crews to maintain hygiene. You have a shower, even a bathroom combined with a sauna lined with oak boards. Okay, if you like spa treatments, you can relax in the sunroom on board. There's even a swimming pool, albeit a small one measuring 2 by 4 meters, filled with either salt water or fresh water obtained through a desalination plant, so you can enjoy a comfortable bath fully. After all, cleaning on a submarine is usually not provided. After a delicious lunch, you'll have a few weeks of fresh food awaiting you. The remaining time, you'll cook from relatively limited supplies. You can prepare many delicious dishes ranging from soup and scrambled eggs to baked goods, and you can even try lasagna. Yes, dessert is not forgotten either. Rice pudding, cherry pie, baked apples, and more. After a delicious lunch, you'll need to relax. For this, TV is installed in the mess hall, where over 400 films are recorded, and the cabins are equipped with air conditioning. A real floating hotel. Tired of watching movies? No problem. Whatever yire is always available. Card games and board games will strengthen your camaraderie and help you pass the time. Don't forget about your body. For those who like to stay in shape, there's a gym on the submarine, albeit small, with a few exercise machines, but it's enough to maintain fitness while at sea, because the living environment on a submarine is as close as possible to conditions on land. Consequently, various garbage piles up on board. Of course, you won't be able to enjoy the luxury of carrying piles of trash to the end of the journey, like disposal, getting rid of waste is not easy here. Special equipment for disposing of organic waste and other residues must work reliably at depth. The system is a durable bunker and airlock chamber, just like in a spacecraft. It receives crushed waste blown into the sea by a powerful airstream. Submariners don't throw cans and bottles into the sea. They're not barbarians. If all of this doesn't scare you and you're ready to live in similar conditions far beneath the waves, then you can start training. Of course, you should be prepared to undergo a stringent selection process. Not everyone can become a submariner. It's a profession taken seriously by a select few. If you'd rather enjoy the sea and oceans from a different perspective, try being an ordinary sailor instead. It comes with fewer toffees and more freedom in almost everything. You'll need to go through registration and military enlistment offices and get on board a regular ship. After working for a few years and without getting seasick, you can move on to the next stage. Even submarine crew professions vary, but there are universal criteria for all crew members. Health, the demanding schedule associated with underwater diving and working in confined spaces negatively impacts both physical and mental conditions. Not everyone can endure it. You must be genuinely healthy with a robust cardiovascular system, digestive system, and respiratory system to prepare for what lies ahead. Every day, you'll meet dozens of different standards related to sports activities. You'll also be continuously examined by specialists because there are problems with your body. If you pass these tests, you'll be sent for a 6-month training program, including daily training, a strict schedule, a strict diet, and various exercises. For example, you'll be forced to dive to great depths in a specially prepared pool to learn how to distribute pressure correctly throughout your body. You'll also learn how to control the submarine and work as a team. When the entire training process is successfully completed, you'll finally have the opportunity to become a submariner and dive fully into the deep. For submarines are colossal. They serve as the government's trump cards utilized for protection and executing top secret covert operations. Today, we unveil a captivating account from an eyewitness who once served at a naval command headquarters. Regrettably, I cannot disclose the specific names and locations, but I'll do my best to provide a vivid description. This tale unfolds in the post-war era when a high-class nuclear submarine received a clandestine mission, venturing into an area under enemy control to execute highly intricate acts of sabotage. After mustering their resolve, the crew embarked on the submarine, descending into the depths of one of the world's oceans, traversing awe-inspiring underwater vistas. Gradually, their equipment drew nearer to the enemy's territorial waters. The mission proceeded according to plan, but peril lurked not far from the coastal zone. An enemy reconnaissance ship suddenly closed in on the submarine, detected by aerial surveillance. If the submarine were to be exposed, the entire mission would unravel, and the submariners might never return home. In this dire situation, there was no room for error. The only recourse was for the submarine to submerge the ocean floor and lay low. Remarkably, the subterfuge succeeded. The enemy's reconnaissance vessel sailed by unaware of their presence. However, just afterward, an entire enemy fleet sailed into the same area. It became apparent that the enemy had relocated its ships to this region indefinitely. A submarine remained stationed on the seabed within this perilous zone for nearly 6 months. During this time, it became completely shrouded in moss and various marine flora, inadvertently aiding the enemy's oversight. Scouts from the enemy forces scoured this area multiple times, yet they only discovered a lone piece of driftwood resting on the ocean floor. Finally, the pivotal moment arrived when most of the enemy fleet set sail in an undisclosed direction, leaving only a large cruiser and a few small vessels behind. A submarine crew knew it was now. They swiftly activated all systems and sprang into action, positioning themselves astern of the cruiser. In a flurry of precision, they launched several high-precision missiles, causing the enemy cruiser to plummet to the depths with a resounding roar. In a heartbeat, the submarine vanished from the scene, leaving chaos in its wake among the enemy ranks. Upon their triumphant return home, the crews were awarded prestigious honors, yet this remarkable feat remained shrouded in secrecy, concealed from the public eye. Stories of this ilk are not uncommon, all underscored by but one common thread: the heroism and unwavering determination of submariners, whose lives you've delved into today.